Naruto's a great series, but that doesn't mean it's immune to cringe. So today, we're going to be ranking the 14 cringiest scenes slash moments slash things in the Naruto world. Starting off with Tenten. Just the character Tenten. She is absolute cringe. She talks a lot of smack and pumps herself up, saying she's gonna surpass Tsunade and whatever when she's introduced, but she loses to Temari immediately in one page. And after that, the only thing she does in the series is to wank Neji off. In the Chunin exam's final round, for example, she's just like, oh, Neji, he's amazing, he has the absolute defense, it's completely impossible to bypass that. And then Naruto promptly defeats him. And then when she gets the 6 path stools, like, that's so cringe. Oh, I'm gonna seal Madara, trust me, bro. I'm a pro. God, I hate Tenten and she is cringe. Number 13, Killer Bee's rapping. I understand this may be controversial, but Killer Bee is just an annoying character to me. His rap gets annoying the 3rd phrase he utters, and by the 6th phrase, it's absolutely unbearable.
Win after win is the way that it's done. When I'm through you, wish we've never met, son.
Yes, it's way less annoying in the manga because you don't actually listen to him rapping, but the anime is, I can't stand the guy. And even in the manga, it's kind of annoying to read all those rhymes while he speaks, and it's almost every single line of speech that he has. Can you imagine a real-life person speaking in rap bars the entire time? And how absolutely cringy that would be? Kishimoto should have used Rock Lee's rapping more sparingly, which I think would make the character more interesting, even though he is strategic in many times, especially with the help of the A-Tails. And I understand that the rapping is kind of a cope mechanism for Killer Bee because of his childhood and everything, but I just find it cringe, what can I say? Number 12, Naruto and Sasuke's kiss is just cringe. I hate that type of gag in anything, like, oh, he bumped into Naruto, then Naruto fell into Sasuke's mouth. That's not funny humor. I mean, I know humor is subjective, but I am right, and if you find that good, you're wrong. In hindsight, after having seen Naruto several times, read the manga several times, it is funny to see Naruto and Sasuke kissing, but just because you know all the baggage that those two characters carry in the story and everything they're gonna go through, when you see them kissing again, when you start a rewatch or reread, you're like, oh yeah, that scene happened, it's kind of funny, but it's really stupid. Number 11, the sexy jutsu. Almost every scene the sexy jutsu is used in is cringe and just fan service bait, if we're being honest. Yeah, it can be funny from time to time, but especially in the beginning of the series, the sexy jutsu was definitely overused. It's a good thing that Kishimoto grew out of it, but even still, when Naruto uses on Jiraiya to convince Jiraiya to go and train Naruto, that's an absolute cringy scene. Oh yes, obviously, Jiraiya would only agree to teach his own godson if he uses the sexy jutsu and entices Jiraiya that way. Also, in Naruto Chapter 1, and this scene was cut out from the anime, Naruto defeats Hiruzen Sarutobi using the sexy jutsu and manages to steal the scroll of the Shadow Clone Jutsu just because he used the sexy jutsu on Hiruzen and Hiruzen was knocked out cold by it. So Naruto literally beat a Kage level fighter in the first chapter of the series with that jutsu. It's a stupid gag jutsu, I don't like it. And it's very cringe when it's used. Number 10, Gaara's speech to the Shinobi Alliance. That speech is cringy, man. You're telling me that 80,000 people were convinced by a single speech that's not even that well formulated? We're protecting Naruto because Naruto protected me in the past, he made me a better person, whatever. These words carry meaning for the audience and a handful of characters in the Alliance, and not everybody else. Also, it's just a really cheap way to make the Alliance cooperate with each other. It would be much more interesting if the Alliance had a lot of beef during the war arc itself. It would have made things much more tense, and the cringy speech doesn't help that aspect of the story. Number 9, Konohamaru versus Pain. It's just a cringe fight. There's there's no world where Konohamaru would have beaten a Path of Pain. Oh, but he learned the Rasengan with Naruto. No, that fight's cringe. It should have been given to literally any other character from the Konoha 12. They were desperately in need of some development in the series, but no, Konohamaru, the borderline filler character, gets it instead. And he beats the Path of Pain. Konohamaru is a cringe character too, just the character itself. Far cringier than Tenten. Number 8, Naruto saves Might Guy from the 8th gate. This isn't cringy because of anything that happens in the story itself per se, but it's just cringy from a writing perspective because Kishimoto, he chickened out so bad here. You establish from Naruto Part 1, ever since the gates were introduced in the series, that the 8th gate is going to kill the user. It's the exchange you make for that amount of power. You are going to die because the gates are very damaging to the body and the 8th gate just kills you. This was amazing setup. So when Guy used the 8th gate against Madara, we're like, okay, he's done, he's gonna die, but this is gonna be a nice fight. It wasn't nice in the anime, it was really good in the manga though. But then they come up with a Deus Ex Machina for Naruto to just, oh, I can literally save Might Guy from it with my new godlike powers. Come on, Kishimoto, imagine how much more impactful that fight could have been if Guy had died in that moment. It's not even that Guy is gonna do anything else in the story, he's gonna be in a wheelchair. He's going to appear in a few extra panels in the series until it ends, and then in Boruto he also does nothing. He doesn't even appear in the Boruto manga. So just kill him there! Imagine how much more impactful it would have been. That's a cringy writing decision if I know one. Number 7. When Sakura says or thinks that she's caught up to Naruto and Sasuke. That happens in the war arc when they're fighting against the clones of the Ten Tails, and Naruto and Sasuke are fighting against them, then Sakura awakens her 100 healings technique, and then she punches the battlefield really hard, which certainly gives Sakura some extra power, but no, Sakura, unfortunately you haven't caught up to Naruto and Sasuke, and every time she says or thinks that, it's very cringe, because everybody makes fun of her as a character, and just from a writing perspective as well, obviously she is not on their level. All it took for Sasuke to beat quote-unquote prime Sakura before the Naruto vs Sasuke fight was a genjutsu, which Sakura is supposed to be a prodigy, and so no, she hasn't caught up to Naruto and Sasuke whatsoever. Number 6. Naruto tells Minato that Sakura is his girlfriend. So when Minato arrives in the battlefield of the 4th Great Ninja War, Sakura's healing Naruto up, and then Minato's like, oh, Naruto, is that over there your girlfriend, Naruto? He literally looks around, thinks a little bit, and says, yes, she certainly is that, and then Sakura's mad, she headbutts Naruto, he gets hurt and all that stuff. Like, Naruto, this is such a cringy scene, because Hinata literally confessed her love for Naruto when she sacrificed herself against pain for Naruto's sake. Then there was the entire thing about Neji dying and Hinata giving Naruto further motivation a few chapters before that scene happened, with Naruto telling Minato that, yeah, Sakura's his girlfriend. So, Naruto knows Sakura doesn't like him. He even stated it to her when Sakura faked her love confession to Naruto. Naruto said, I hate people that lie to themselves. And now Naruto's acting all goofy. No, yeah, she's my girlfriend, Datebayo. That is such a stupid, cringe-worthy scene that I don't like. Number 5, and this kind of feels like a repeat, but I swear it's not. This is gonna be Konohamaru's sexy jutsu. Now, Konohamaru's already a very cringe character, we've already explained that. And the sexy jutsu is an already cringy jutsu. What happens when you combine both? I'm not talking about when Konohamaru learns the jutsu from Naruto and whatnot. I'm talking about when Konohamaru uses the jutsu on Sakura, and he transforms himself and a clone into Sai and Sasuke, and they perform, well, acts on each other. This literally happens in the Naruto manga. I don't remember exactly how it happens in the anime. I'm pretty sure it's heavily censored. But this is one of the stupidest things Kishimoto has done, if not for the Kaguya thing in the end of the story. This is probably the stupidest thing he's written. Like, there's a sex scene in Naruto, and that scene is between a person and his shadow clone, and he is 13 years old. He's transformed into 15 years old, and they're having... I hate that scene so much. And a lot of people forget or are not even aware that scene exists. I think it's because it's cut off the anime, because I don't remember it in the anime, but I certainly remember it in the manga. God, I hate Konohamaru, I hate that jutsu, I hate everything about it so much. It's so cringy, I don't like it. Let's move on with number 4, Madara's betrayal by Black Zetsu, and the fact that Madara turns into a meatball to become Kaguya. Like, if the betrayal wasn't already the worst writing decision in the history of fiction, Madara has to become a meatball, a massive, gigantic, gargantuan meatball before he becomes Kaguya. That's one of the cringiest things that ever happened in the Naruto story. Why does he have to become a ball of meat? Why does Kaguya have to exist? Anyways, number 3, Boruto, and pretty much his existence. Boruto is one of the cringiest characters in fiction. He's now number 1 on this list because there are things that are cringier in the Naruto series. But just the fact that he's the main character of the final chapter of the series and not Naruto Uzumaki, the namesake of the Naruto series, already cringy in of itself. Also the fact that he is defacing the Hokage statues just like Naruto was doing in chapter 1 is so cringy. Oh, I want to be like my dad, but my dad doesn't pay attention to me, so I'm going to deface statues. Also, look at his hair. It looks like 2 bananas hanging out of his head. It's a stupid design. He looks cringy as hell. Number 2, Black Zetsu saying the history of Shinobi is the history of his mother's revival. I despise this so much about the Naruto series, and it's delivered in one of the cringiest ways possible.
Yeah, do you know all that stuff that you really liked about the Naruto series so far? It's everything's about this really bad character that we made up in the final 10 chapters of the series because we need a villain for the Boruto series, so we're gonna make an entire clan of aliens to make them very strong.
This was not Kishimoto's fault. Shonen Jump demanded him to do that, so I mean, it is what it is, but Shonen Jump kind of ruined the end of Naruto for that. Black Zetsu's really cringe too when he's in Kaguya's sleeve there, like,
My mother, she's really strong, she's the goddess of Shinobi.
Like, shut the hell up, man. Nobody likes you. Nobody even liked you before. You're just like a background character that for some reason was elevated into the status of a demigod because Kishimoto needed the worst possible reason to include Kaguya in the end of the story, and Zetsu was the only character left in the bad guys that wasn't Madara. So yeah, I guess the entire story now has become the story of Kaguya's revival. And yes, I know that in the end of the fight, Naruto says, oh, the history of Shinobi is not about you, it's about us and whatever, but no, I mean, the line is cringy in of itself. Oh, where's the history of Shinobi? It certainly looks like this is why they're trying to say here, because the history of Shinobi, technically, as the story is written, led to Kaguya's revival, so, I mean, that statement is not incorrect, which is cringy in of itself from a writing standpoint and just from the characters and the way they say things. Number 1. I want you, exactly, you, the person who's watching this video. John, Steve, I know you're watching this video. I want you to go in the comments and comment which moment you think is going to be the cringiest moment in the Naruto series. And while you're doing that, please like the video and subscribe to my channel because a lot of people don't do that and it really helps me out. And this video made me revive the worst experiences I had with Naruto and the poor storytelling decisions Kishimoto made. So please help me out. Alright, the cringiest moment in the Naruto series is obviously going to be
Obito was the coolest guy, Date by yo!
So after Obito dies, Kaguya and Zetsu, they're like, oh, Obito was a trash dude, bro. Ha ha ha, he was just a pawn, he was garbage. And yeah, they're right, he was all those things, he was a trash guy. But then just because in the last 5 minutes of his life he did something decent, Naruto's like, no, Obito was the coolest guy. Even though Obito literally held a kunai to Naruto when he was 2 minutes old, not even that. He threatened to kill a baby because he wanted to destroy the Leaf Village with the Nine Tails. He killed Naruto's dad, he killed Naruto's mom, he killed a lot of people because he wanted to see Rin again, a 13-year-old girl he had a crush on. But no, Trust me, bro, he was the coolest guy. I know some people say that Naruto was referring to the person who Obito was before he became the masked man, you know, the guy that helped old ladies to cross the streets and sacrifice himself for his friends, but the way the phrase reads is like, Obito, the person who just died right here, was the coolest guy. And he definitely wasn't the coolest guy. I mean, he did have some very cool jutsus, like Kamui was very sweet when he used that to stomp people around, phase through stuff. But Obito, as a person, absolutely horrendous human being. And just the way the dialogue is phrased, Obito is the coolest guy, is so cringy. My skin crawls every time I watch that scene or read that in the manga. Let's just say the Kaguya fight was not the high point of the series. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, like the video to help me with the YouTube algorithm, and watch this other cool Naruto video right here. Thank you so much for watching, guys.